All right, welcome back. So today we're back on the Limitless giveaway build. So we still have a few things we need to do. We need electronics into it. We need to get a radio system for it. We need to install the Game Changer fans, which he has supplied. We have a body that we have to get custom painted, and that's something we spoke to you guys about what color do you want this body painted. So with all that said, through high demand, it wasn't like very close on the color choices on this one. I like to paint things red, blue. Those are the main colors that I paint a lot of my RCs. Those are just some favorite colors I have, so I tend to do all my builds in red or blue. But that's not a color you guys picked. By overwhelming demand, the color that was picked for this one was a green. So there was a lot of choices of green: light green, mint green, dark greens. But out of all of that, the color choices were green. I mean, there was a couple pinks and some random other purples and multicolor stuff, but the main color that everybody picked was green. So with all that said, we are going to be painting the body green, which I'll show you in this video. So I got a couple different shades of green. I got a translucent green. Can't really see over these price stickers. And I'll tell you what, guys, RC parts are getting very, very, very expensive. So this is a British racing green. And then we have a PS9 Tamiya green, so which is a darker green. And then I'm gonna basically shoot that in a light mist on here, and we're gonna go ahead and back it in a bright gunmetal. So we're gonna throw some silver behind it. It's a darker silver. I usually use a light silver, a real flaky silver, just to get it to pop. But I'm gonna do basically a light shade of, because I don't like standard colors, I'm gonna do a PS22 light coat of that, which is a British racing green. And then we're gonna back it in a little darker green, another light little coat of that. And then we're gonna go heavy on the silver to get that to bleed through and brighten up the color a little bit. And that should give us more of like an emerald green, which I think is going to look really good. A lot of people said the green with the carbon fiber is pretty much the way to go, and I agree. I think that'll look sick. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So in this video, if you want to see how I'm going to paint this body, that's what we're going to do. I also did pick up a Reefs RC steering servo. This is the 444. This will work really good in this light RC. It's got decent speed, goes up to 8.4 volts. I was going to put a 777 in it. Problem with the 777 is it's really fast. It's a really fast servo. So when you're speed running and that kind of stuff, you really don't want a fast servo in there. This thing is still going to be quick. It's not going to wear out, and it's definitely not a cheap servo. I think this thing was $130, $140. Pretty close to what a 777 is. So we're gonna get the 444 installed and go that route. Then we have the Game Changer fans. These are the V2 fans. These are the new low profile fans with carbon fiber covers. We have a voltage regulator that's going to be installed to drive these fans. He did send an on and off switch. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. I might, but we're going to go ahead and install the voltage regulator. and then we're going to install the single fan onto the ESC, and then we're going to run a dual fan on the motor. Now, I haven't discussed what electronic we're sticking into that, so please vote down below on what electronics you guys want to see in this thing. But so far, I want to say today, this by the end of the build, I have a feeling is going to be around a $2,500 build. Just going off today's prices. Normally I can do a build like this for, I want to say $1,800 to $2,000. But believe it or not, with today's prices, I don't know. By the time we buy an ESC, buy a receiver, buy a radio, and get all this stuff installed on top of the Basher Queen stuff, buying the RC, putting the steering servo in, doing the paint, doing the body, getting some foam wheels on it. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be an expensive build, so somebody's going to get a lot of money right here. I spent a pretty penny today at the hobby store, which we will be discussing. I'm saving all the receipts for what I put into it and what I paid for versus what was promoted and what was given to us. And at that point, you're going to see how much money truly is in this thing. But if you want to see this body being painted, I'm going to get it prepped. I'm going to wash out the inside of this body. I'm going to get the stickers applied to the window, and I'm going to prep it for paint, and I'll meet you guys outside right before we paint it. Be right back. Alright, so I had it set up outside, but I had to move it into the garage. It's a little too windy outside to be painting outside. So we got it in the garage with the door open. So the PS22, I'm going to shoot that as a light coat. Got everything prepped, got the windows on, the window decals on. These decals don't stick down very well, which means they'll bleed through the edges. So I'm going to try to avoid that as best I can. But we're going to go ahead and open this. And I always buy extra for touch-up in case we have to touch up later. Alright, so just a light coat on this time. You never really know what the color is until you shoot it. I can feel the wind blowing in here right now, so I'm going to stop for a second till you can see the body shaking back and forth. Let the wind die down. I still feel wind coming in. Never fails. There we go. Now with the front it's hard because of these grooves that are there, but I'm going to shoot it light. These little grooves down in here, you kind of want to hit those heavy at first. Because it's hard to get color down in there. And remember, it's on the inside, so even if you get some runs, it's not too bad. It's these little speckle spots that you kind of don't want. That's just grease or oil that's on there, which is weird because I have sanded it and wiped it. But I seem to see these release agents stick really well on these edges, and I have it on most of my front nose paint jobs. Oh, big gust of wind. I don't want it to blow this thing off the table. I'm going to flip the body around so I can see the other side. Try to get somewhat of an even coat on this thing. I'm going to go a little heavier. Really trying to get all the edges. It's going to dry quick because it's 100 degrees outside today. So we're going to let that sit a little bit. Take a look. You see how it's all spotted, which is fine. When we add the other color, it's really going to bleed through on those places, which will look very good. So we'll be right back. All right. So we're going to grab another can of the PS22. This one's got very little in it, so it's not going to be enough to even out this paint. Another thing I try to do is I'll set my cans upside down because they've been sitting on shelves right side up for a long time. So I just let them sit that way, half hour, 30 minutes. Makes it mixing up a lot easier. Still a little windy out here. I'm gonna flip the body around again. So I'm gonna hold the body this time. We're gonna try to get it even coats now. Flip it around again, let the wind die down just a smidget. So a little British racing green. Hit these corners again first. Really want to get this edge. Clear out the nozzle. That's going to be it for that color. That was PS22. British racing green, or racing green. It's really British racing green. But we're going to go ahead and let that dry, and then we're going to hit it with its next coat. And as you see, it's just the PS9 is just a little darker, so we're going to try to hit all the edges with a darker green to try to get it down in the cracks. And then we're going to back it in the silver. We'll be right back. Alright, time to hit it with some PS9. This is just a little darker green. Still a little windy out here. You can see the body rocking back and forth every time the wind blows a little bit. This is going to give me more coverage, I'm hoping. If you back it in the silver now, the silver starts showing through all the places that are light on the green. And that's why I'm using a darker green to kind of back the lighter green. Trying to get in all these little cracks and crevices, especially on this nose. Right in here. Laying it heavy in there. Hopefully it'll get down in there. I tend to line the back of this because the body slides in and out so much. You kind of want to make this extra thick where the pins go, where it's going to rub. I just always add a little bit more to the heavy areas that are going to rub. There we go. We're going to let that sit now, and then we're going to back it in a silver. Be right back. All right, so we got all the green shot. And now we're going to lay the backer, which is PS63 gunmetal. Going to add a metal flake to it, which won't really show through. Because I put solid colors on and I did a bunch of coats. But any place that's thin, really going to make the body not see-through. You can see all the metal flake flying around. Remember, it's got a protective film on the outside. You don't have to really worry about overspray. Nice simple paint job. Now I tend not to paint dark colors on a speed car because it's hard to see, but this is what you guys asked for. A green. And there we go. We're going to let this cure up and then we'll catch you guys back inside. It's like, yeah, see, it bled through on the windows. The decal shortened up, and that's why I don't like the window stickers, because when you start painting, you see how it bled through there and bled through there, which that's the whole reason I don't like these window decals. They shrink up on the curve and they don't stay down, so then color starts going underneath them. When you apply color, you see that? You can see it went up there, bubbled up there. Just, they're not good window stickers from Arrma, but it is what it is. There's going to be a decal over this anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So we'll have to correct that after it's all dry. But we'll be right back. Catch you guys inside. All right. So what I'm going to do now, protective film still on. I peeled the sticker and I shot green on the back side with silver. So I'm going to trim this out with an X-Acto knife. We're going to repair this section. All right, because you can see the blemish from the silver, and I don't like that, and I don't like the blue decal, so we're going to correct this with some black or some color I can add here. Hopefully I have some black. All right, we're going to touch this up with some black. There we go. We're going to let that sit now. We'll be back. All right, so let's get it peeled. It's been about an hour. It is dry to the touch. So the first thing I'm gonna do, which I normally peel these window stickers before it dries, but I forgot to peel the sides. There's one. I am going to be tinting the side windows. Now that I got that off, we're going to go ahead and peel the body. So I'm going to start from the back because it's easier for me. You can see that green really starting to pop now. All the overspray. Look at that green. We'll clean up the edges. Remember, we cut around the window. There we go. And as you see, the sides are clear, which we might tint those later. And let's peel this piece. Going for that nice dark green like we're getting. Remember, I laid it heavy on the nose. You can see how the coverage is really good on this green. When you back it with a green, it really gives you great coverage, and the silver will just give it that pop in the sun, that metal flake, that silver backing. And it looks like we laid enough down. You see those edges and this edge? You see how we got all that green in there? That's from backing it in that dark green. If you don't do that and you use the lighter green, you'll end up with light spots right in here. But we don't have that because I laid it heavy. And as you see, there are some runs right in here and right in here, but that's okay. It allowed us to fill in all the greens into these corners, and I had to lay it heavy there and lay it heavy there so that we can get the good coverage right in here without it looking funny, without it looking light on all these edges right here. So there we go. That's the way the body looks. Now that it's all painted up. And then you can tell with the black right in here, we won't have to use this blue decal, which I think looks a lot better. But we'll go ahead and let this dry more. and then we're going to give the whole outside a good wiping, and then we'll transfer over our supports. So next step is to get it installed. But there we go. That's the way the color is going to look. So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you like the way I do my paint jobs. And is that something? I love the dark colors. The problem, like I said, with dark colors, it's just hard to see on a speed run. And what do you think about the fix for fixing that window because the decal peeled up? Is that the way you guys would have repaired it? Because as you see, the lines are really good, and I don't have to use that that blue window decal now. The plan was to tint it from the backside, but we had to make a correction because the decal peeled up, and that's a good way to make a correction. So there you go, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. The next video, I'll be having this installed. On to the Limitless.